The main purpose for this video is to give other parents hope and understanding that biomedical treatment for autism can make a difference in the outcome of their child's future, sometimes even to the point of full recovery. We think our son Tommy is one of them. People may say that Tommy was misdiagnosed or that his symptoms weren't that bad. At 27 months of age, Tommy was diagnosed by a pediatric neurologist with autism. He was also evaluated by a private speech and language pathology department and rated along their scales. The pediatric neurologist stated that Tommy's behavior is very challenging. He doesn't talk. Thomas is easily frustrated. He has no interactive skills. He has strange anxiety, he is not social, and he likes routine and has difficulty with transition. He had no words at 2 years and 3 months of age. The doctor's impression was that Thomas is a 27-month-old male with autism. He demonstrates delayed social and adaptive skills. He has failed to progress in language development and communicative intent with sounds. He has fascinations with objects with obsessive-compulsive tendencies. The speech and language pathology department rated Tommy as his language expression being that of a 0 to 3 month old with scattered skills. His language comprehension was that of a 6 to 9 month old with scattered skills. And for overall verbal communication, he was rated or ranked in the bottom 5 percentile. At the same time that Tommy was diagnosed with autism, we found Dr. Neubrander and immediately started a biomedical intervention. The things that helped Tommy the most were the methyl B12 injections, the gluten and casein-free diet, the LDA shot for inhalant allergies, GI medication, and supplements following Dr. Neubrander's supplement review. However, Tommy still had a long way to go, especially with his speech, his affection, his social interaction, his awareness and focus, his bowel function, his compulsive, obsessive, and stimming behaviors. Before we did any mild hyperbaric oxygen treatment, Tommy had about 30 to 40 words, and he couldn't put 2 words together. They were only used for labeling objects. He could not put 2 words together, and you could only understand him maybe 25% of the time. His words had no meaning other than to point out an object and say what it was. Before we did any mild HBOT, Tommy never gave my wife or I a hug or a kiss. He showed no interest in giving or receiving affection. He screamed and tried to push you away if you tried to hold him or hug him. Before we did any mild HBOT, Tommy had no interest in peers or adults. He would never play or enact with other children. My wife had to continually pull him back to where the other children were and try to get him to engage. It was a lot of work, and he seemed blank to anyone that tried to enter his world. Before we did mild HBOT, Tommy had an obsessive compulsive behavior, especially with toy cars. He would butt scoot around the perimeter of a room for hours on end. This was Tommy's most predominant stimming behavior. It would cause Tommy to have huge meltdowns if you attempted to break up his routine or his butt scooting with the cars. Daily routines had to be remain the same throughout the day, or Tommy would have a hysterical fit if it was ever interrupted. And that was all before we did any hyperbaric oxygen treatment, which we did the mild, which is the soft version, and we did it at home. Today we've completed 5 treatment sets in approximately 300 hours, and Tommy is now, without question, fully recovered from autism. His speech, since we completed, his vocabulary is huge, and his overall speech development, we're in total shock, and it just continues to grow every day. He speaks in 5 to 10 word sentences. We were driving in the car, and he said, look mommy, I found another chicken nugget. It was hiding under the waffle fries. And these are the kinds of sentences that he's coming out with every day, and it just continues to grow. He has spontaneous speech where we'll be outside and he'll see a plane and he'll just grab you and say, hey Dad, look, it's JJ the Jet. And it's, again, the imaginative, creative, and spontaneous. He makes choices with what he wants, and we can tell him that we're going to Walmart, and he'll argue and actually say, no, I want to go to Toys R Us. And of course he wins, but he's extremely imaginative. He'll look at a cloud and say, look mommy, look daddy, I see a horse. Or Tommy will bite into a cracker and say that it looks like a sailboat or the moon. He's extremely smart, and it's really starting to become obvious the more and more that his speech develops. He knows all of his shapes, including octagon and pentagon. He knows all of his colors, which also include plaid and polka dot. He knows all of his alphabet, and he can count past 30. And this was all after completing hyperbaric oxygen treatment that this developed. And his affection since completing HBOT, it's like a miracle. I mean, he now, where he would never want us to hold him, he wants to play tackle, where he tackles me on the floor, and he loves to snuggle with his mommy. And if he gets hurt, he cries to be picked up, where before he wouldn't. He would just lay on the floor and cry, and still wouldn't want us to pick him up. If he gets a boo-boo, he has to be held, and he wants you to kiss it and make it all better. The cute thing that he does is if you hit your knee or your foot or something, he'll run to the freezer and get what we call a boo-boo pack, and he'll put it on where you hit it, and also kiss it to make it all better. At nighttime, when he goes to sleep, he wants you to rub his back. He'll ask you, say, mommy, daddy, rub my back. So he wants our affection, he wants our love, and he gives unprompted hugs and kisses all the time. And again, all this was after we did hyperbaric oxygen treatment. As far as his social development goes, eye contact is not a question anymore. He'll go to the neighbor's door all by himself and ring their doorbell to play with other children. He loves his friends. He'll go on. He'll play trucks on the beach with his friend Nicholas. They'll push him all around the beach, and then they'll go jump the waves together. He rides his bike, and he goes on his play set with the neighbors Jay and Ariana. He swims in the pool with Vinny. He goes to Storybook Land and goes on the rides with Rocco and Izzy. His best friend is Mikey, and Mikey has been there for Tommy from the beginning and has made the most difference in his outcome and recovery of autism. But probably the most amazing thing that hyperbaric oxygen treatment has done for Tommy is that his stimming behavior has completely disappeared. He no longer butt scoots. He's no longer fixated on cars. Initially, when we found out that he had autism, we had to remove him from the house. And now we have about 100 different types of cars, toy cars, and he can actually name every single one. I guess overall, since the completing the 300 hours of hyperbaric oxygen treatment, Tommy's bowel function is perfect. He goes every day. He's potty trained, and he'll go to the bathroom all by himself. He rides a bike. He can swim by himself. He loves to color. He loves to do arts and crafts. He wouldn't pick up a pencil before we did hyperbaric oxygen treatment. He loves music. We used to have to turn the music off in the car before, and now he loves listening to it. He sings songs Old MacDonald and Twinkle Twinkle, full verse. He's extremely healthy since we've done HBOT. He rarely gets sick, and if he does, it only lasts for a couple days. He seems to bounce back quickly, and his size, well, his height is off the chart for his age, and his weight is in the 95 percentile. Today, Tommy's 3.5 years old, and he's extremely happy, and we believe fully recovered from autism due to the biomedical treatment and Dr. Neubrander. So, in closing, I want the parents to please take the time to research the science behind biomedical treatment for autism. I'm not going to lie to you, it is hard work, but the results are worth it. It's safe, and it's effective. Your child can improve and make a drastic change in the outcome of their life. So I suggest that you go to the Autism Research Institute, find a reputable DAN doctor, which stands for Defeat Autism Now, and make an appointment today. Please do not hesitate with your child.